Dear listeners, gather round and let me regale you with the tale of my woeful experience at the Atlantica Miramare Beach Hotel, Limassol. I'm still reeling from the sheer audacity of this establishment, and I warn you, my story will leave you aghast. As I stepped into the hotel, I was immediately struck by the eerie feeling that something was amiss. The lobby, once grand, now seemed like a hollow shell of its former self, with outdated decor and an air of neglect. It was as if the management had given up, surrendering to the whims of fate. I approached the front desk, where I was greeted by a staff member who seemed as though they'd rather be anywhere else. Their lackadaisical demeanor set the tone for the rest of my stay. I asked for my room, and they handed me the key with all the enthusiasm of a sleepwalker. As I made my way to my room, I couldn't help but notice the labyrinthine corridors, which seemed to stretch on forever. The carpets, once plush, now felt like sandpaper beneath my feet. Every step creaked and groaned, as if the very foundations of the hotel were protesting my presence. Upon entering my room, I was met with a sight that would haunt my dreams. The beds, masquerading as doubles, were in reality two singles pushed together, with single sheets that seemed to mock me. The phones, ostensibly there to provide a lifeline, didn't work. It was as if the hotel was determined to cut me off from the world, leaving me to rot in this dingy, forsaken chamber. But dear listeners, it gets worse. Oh, so much worse. The bathroom, a torture chamber disguised as a place of hygiene, was a masterclass in ineptitude. The lighting, akin to a sadistic game of Spot the Fly, made it impossible to see myself in the mirror. And the water, oh the water, which seemed to have a mind of its own, oscillating between scalding and freezing, ensuring that every shower was a Russian roulette of discomfort. And then there was the issue of cleanliness, or rather, the lack thereof. Cockroaches, those most unsavory of creatures, roamed free, as if they were the true owners of the hotel. I half expected to find a welcome to our humble abode sign, crafted from the finest insect-sized font, but I digress. The true tragedy, dear listeners, was the service, or rather the complete and utter lack thereof. Staff members, seemingly plucked from the depths of despair, wandered the halls like zombies, devoid of purpose or passion. When I dared to approach them with a query, they responded with all the warmth of a Siberian winter, and don't even get me started on the live music performance. The singer, a poor soul who seemed to have lost their way, warbled on like a wounded bird, completely disconnected from the music, the audience, and indeed, reality itself. It was as if they were trapped in a never-ending nightmare, forced to relive the same soul-crushing performance ad infinitum. As I wandered the hotel, searching for a glimmer of hope, I stumbled upon the pool, a veritable oasis in this desert of despair. Alas, even this haven was beset by problems. The staff, those same listless souls, seemed more interested in their own conversations than in providing even the slightest semblance of service. And the ice, oh the ice, which I so desperately needed to soothe my parched throat, was an elusive dream, a will-o'-the-wisp that vanished the moment I reached for it. Dear listeners, I implore you, do not, I repeat, do not set foot in the Atlantica Miramare Beach Hotel, Limassol. It is a place where dreams go to die, where hope is extinguished, and where the very fabric of humanity seems to fray and unravel. So I ask you, dear friends, have you ever experienced the depths of despair that I have so intimately described? Share your own tales of woe, your own experiences of hotel horrors, and let us commiserate together, united in our disdain for this monstrosity of a hotel. And to the management of the Atlantica Miramare Beach Hotel, Limassol, I say,
Oh my goodness, I'm so sad to be talking about this, but I have to warn you about the scams near Atlantica Miramare Beach Hotel, Limassol. You know, it's like this beautiful hotel, and then you have these awful people trying to take advantage of tourists. So businesses near Atlantica Miramare Beach Hotel, Limassol are like super good at building trust with you. Like they'll be all friendly and helpful, and then, bam, they'll scam you. Like this one guy at a Western Union in Germasogia. He was so nice to the owner, doing small exchanges and stuff. And then he pulled off this huge scam, exchanging $40,000 for euros. I mean, can you believe it? He counted out the money, put it in envelopes, and then swapped them with some small bills. I'm like, how could you do that? The owner probably felt so stupid after that, like, how did I not see that coming? And the guy, he just walked out with all that money. I hope the police catch him, but like, will they ever? It's just so frustrating. And then there were these two women, ages 44 and 53, posing as real estate agents in a storefront in Limassol. They promised people they could get compensation and sell property in the Turkish-occupied north of Cyprus. I mean, it sounds so legit, right? But no, they were just scamming people, taking over 150,000 euros from them. Like, how do people do this? I'm guessing the victims were so desperate to make a deal, and these women just played on that. And now, they're probably feeling so ashamed and angry with themselves. And those two women, they're just like living their best lives, spending all that money. It's just not right. And oh my goodness, there was this huge investment scam call center operating from a storefront in Limassol. They were calling people all over the world, convincing them to invest in fake trading platforms. I mean, it's like they're preying on people's hopes and dreams. They stole at least 230 million euros. Can you even imagine? Like, what were they thinking? The victims probably thought they were making a smart investment and then nothing. They lost all their money. I'm like, how do you even recover from that? And the scammers, they just moved to Bulgaria like no consequences at all. It's just so unfair. I'm so sorry, guys, but this is what's happening near Atlantica Miramare Beach Hotel, Limassol. Just please be careful, okay? Like, don't trust everyone and always do your research. I don't want you to go through what these poor people went through.
The reality of businesses near Atlantica Miramare Beach Hotel, Limassol. The businesses near Atlantica Miramare Beach Hotel, Limassol, are a lesson in disappointment. If you're expecting quality, consistency, or even basic competence, prepare to lower those expectations dramatically. This isn't just about a few bad apples. It's about an orchard of mediocrity where corners are cut, standards are ignored, and customers are treated like inconveniences. Let's start with the hotels. The Royal Apollonia by Louis Hotels is supposed to be a 5-star experience, but the reality is closer to a budget hostel with delusions of grandeur. Guests report rooms so hot they feel like saunas, with air conditioning that barely functions, if at all. One visitor described sleeping in a pool of their own sweat, which is not exactly the luxury experience promised. Then there's the cleanliness, or lack thereof. Dirty towels left in rooms, cockroaches scurrying around, and even reports of dead animals on the grounds. For the prices they charge, you'd think they could at least provide a clean, functional room. But no, instead you get passive-aggressive service, overpriced minibars you can't even use, and managers who offer discounts on future stays as if anyone would willingly return. Restaurants in the area aren't much better. Milk Bar, for example, seems to operate on the principle that customers are a nuisance. The service is slow, the staff is rude, and the food is often underwhelming, if it arrives at all. One diner waited an hour and a half for a simple steak sandwich and a poached egg. Another was served an avocado so raw it was inedible, only for the manager to argue about its freshness rather than apologize. And if you think delivery will save you, think again. Cold, poorly presented, and overpriced, this is what passes for a meal here. Then there's Meze Taverna restaurant, a place where the concept of a meze has been stripped of all meaning. Diners report tiny portions, missing dishes, and meat so scarce you'd think it was rationed. One group ordered a fish meze for 3 people and received 3 shrimp, 1 per person, and a single fish to share. The waitstaff, meanwhile, seem oblivious, treating complaints with indifference. It's as if they know the tourists won't be back, so why bother? Nightlife isn't any brighter. Guaba Beach Bar promises a lively atmosphere but delivers empty venues, overpriced drinks, and bartenders who can't be bothered to serve customers. One patron waited 20 minutes for a drink while the staff chatted among themselves. Another had their change stolen by a bartender who then gave away their drinks to someone else. And if you think security will help when things go wrong, think again. A woman had her expensive sunglasses stolen inside the bar, and the staff refused to check the cameras unless she filed a police report. Even shopping is a letdown. My Mal Limassol is a place where logic goes to die. Broken public transport, dirty bathrooms, and shops selling defective products with no accountability. One customer bought shoes that fell apart after